Happy Wednesday, good people, and welcome to WWT Live. Your professor is back from the Bahamas, and we got a special guest to kick off the show. It's a show you do not want to miss. This is WWT Live.
Howdy, folks. This is Willow Nightingale, and you are watching Women's Wrestling Talk.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Happy Wednesday, good people. It is officially the day before Independence Day here in the U.S. I am your professor, Gerard Bonner, GB, Teflon G. I don't know what else you're calling me. I'm sure TK has a new name for me somewhere. Speaking of TK, we'll actually get to her because she's actually here today. She's here. But before we get to TK, I got to bring on the crew, and we have a very special guest joining us as well. We got a full house, folks. We got a full house. So let's just get right into it. From, he's got that wrestling podcast. Jason Gray is in the building. Jason, how are you, sir?
What's up, man? It's Wednesday, and I believe in Jack Perry. 100%. 100%.
Well said. I have to see how our elected officials feel. And so for that, we go to the councilman himself. Councilman Farrell's in the building. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Y'all, the parents are back, so we gotta get back down to a PG.
Oh Lord.
Y'all let us run amok while y'all was gone.
Oh boy, all kinds of things are happening. Now, I'll tell you who I know was holding down the fort. I have absolutely no doubt about it. Honey, the responsible one of us all, is here. How are you, honey?
At least I try to be. What's up, guys? So happy to see you guys back from the Bahamas. I can't wait to hear about your time. Can't wait to get into it. I'm so excited to see my fam today. What's up, y'all?
It is good to be back, and it's always good to see you. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know I don't remember the last date she was here. I wish I knew. So I could say, it's been 45 days. Might be a little longer than that, though. But she's here officially on WWT Live. The boss lady is here. Ladies and gentlemen, TK Trinidad is in the building.
What's up, y'all? Damn, I've been gone that long.
60 days. 60 days.
There's a whole show for her. It's called 60 Days In. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Boss,
Did you know about that show, 60 Days In?
Yes.
Do you know about that show, TK?
No.
Oh, we'll have to educate you.
Isn't it the prison show?
Jason just ripped the Band-Aid right off.
Yes,
Absolutely,
right
it is.
Right
I was not in prison.
No, it's not. No. We'll explain it later.
Right,
but listen,
bad.
we're going to kick the show off in a big way. We have a very, very special guest that is joining us. Yes.
Before we do that before we introduce the special guest, it piggybacks onto this show. Wait, where is the drop? Why the special guest is on in our partnership with ACW.
Well, it's right here. Check it out.
Have you heard the news? It's pretty big. I heard from my friend who heard from her friend all the way from the Caribbean. Well, when I heard from my friend, I became super excited. And I think you guys will like it too. WWT now has an official partner, and it's All Caribbean Wrestling, the premier promotion across the Caribbean. Go to allcaribbeanwrestling.com to check out all the latest pay-per-views, or go on the YouTube page at All Caribbean Wrestling. Also, go and check out their socials on Instagram at All Caribbean Wrestling and on X at All Caribbean WR1. Now, you make sure you go and check them out and tell them WWT sent you. You hear me?
And there it is. We shout out our official sponsors, All Caribbean Wrestling, who had an amazing show over the weekend in Nassau, Bahamas, Baha Bash, and one of the major stars. And when I say major stars, trust me, the place went nuts for the amazing guest that we have hanging out with us. You might know her from WOW as Sierra Breeze. You may have seen her in NXT as well. She's a big part of All Caribbean Wrestling. Make some noise, everybody, for Kaylia Capri and the Capri Sun.
Sorry, I had to get the sun out the way.
Let's go. Woo, woo.
Hi, y'all. Thank y'all so much for having me. I love being here. I can't wait to talk to y'all and get into the tea.
Absolutely. Well, welcome officially to Women's Wrestling Talk. It is great to have you with us. And of course, the world got to really see how incredible you are from all things at Baha Bash, which we will get into in a little bit. But for those who are just discovering Kaylia Capri, talk about your journey into the world of pro wrestling.
Well, for those who know, they know. I started out at NXT, where I was just a track athlete coming out of college from Texas Southern. And I was at NXT just absolutely trying any and everything that I could possibly try. It was a whole new world for me, which is the gag, because I'm from the Caribbean, and you know where Ariel is from. But it was a whole entirely new world. It was so energetic, so exciting, and something that I felt resonated with me and my soul as a person. And that's when it just opened up my eyes to what I could possibly be inside professional wrestling. From there, I went straight to WOW, which is Women of Wrestling, based in Los Angeles. And that's where I became Sierra Breeze. And now you guys are seeing me on ACW, All Caribbean Wrestling, as Kaylia Capri. And I'm bringing the heat, I'm bringing the breeze, I'm bringing everything that the island got to offer.
Love it.
Absolutely. And what most people don't know, and I think this is such a unique space for you, is you are the first ever female wrestler to come from the Bahamas.
Yeah.
How wild is that for you to be a first ever with that kind of pressure and lineage on you?
It hit me after Baha Bash how real this is. Bahamians have been dying for wrestling to come back to the Bahamas, and we have been dying for representation, especially on the female side. So being the first ever female Bahamian pro wrestler means so much to me. I have a whole country that is now dependent on me, not just to shine myself, but to shine light on the Bahamas.
Boss lady, I don't want to.
I just want to play this clip for y'all. Cause and then let me just say, once the live goes up, just to give a teaser, because Kaylia is not the only wrestling family member. Her grandmother is also a wrestler as well, because her grandmother saw fit to pick up a chair and almost get in the ring to defend her granddaughter.
Okay.
It was the most amazing sight. And when I say pick up a chair, it wasn't like, you see you see people struggling. No, she didn't struggle at all. She had the chair over her head.
Over her head.
Yeah.
And this was not your regulation steel chair. This was this was not a folding chair. No. This was one of those really nice, cute, sturdy chairs that she had up like this, and nobody was in the way to stop her. I was freaking out. I was freaking out. It's crazy.
And then she also had a whip. I don't know where she got the whip from, but
I don't know where she got the whip from either, to be honest with you. I don't know where she got any of it from.
Wow.
But it was absolutely amazing. Bahamas on the whole, beautiful country. So many amazing things to do. And the turnout was great. And it wasn't like, oh, we're going to just see this wrestling thing. Everybody knew every wrestler that came on. Mm-hmm. And that was good. But then to show the support for their very own, like it was very obvious. And it was just a great match. So just talk about that feeling, like to perform in your own homeland, but to have the crowd support like that. Like what's that feeling been like?
That feeling feels like when you could just be free, when you could just be comfortable in your environment and absolutely have fun with every single person in the building. Like, it was so contagious. When I walked out, when they dropped my music, it's the first time everyone's ever heard my music by Omega Heart. And they were like, okay, wait, this a nice little B. Who coming out? Because JC called me out. In my head, I was like, okay, I'm going out there and I'm whooping JC's butt. Because at this point, this girl already called everybody dirty conks. She already telling me I stink. And I know I don't stink. The queen cannot stink. So I was ready to get out there and get to it. But the minute I walked through the curtains and everybody saw that it was me, the whole place erupted. And I just was like, how am I not even mad anymore? I'm not even mad at this point. I went from wanting to kick her butt to now I'm going to punch her bungie. That's pretty much how we got to that.
Wait, you're going to punch her what?
In the Bahamas, we don't say butt, we say bungie. So that's how we got to punching her bungie, because it was completely instinctual from there. I didn't have to think about anything. I just felt it the entire match long. I felt like I had eyes all over the room for me, because I heard people screaming like, watch out, like get up, get up, get up. They were screaming. They started the 242 chant. They started to scream my name and chant my name. And it just made me want to fight from underneath. Honestly, it just made me want, every time she hit me, I just wanted to hit her back in some type of way, shape or form. Sadly, it ended up, nice uppercut to the butt. But I know she felt that one too. It's a strong one right here. But it was an amazing feeling. If I could go out there and replay that over and over and over and over again, I swear I would take Bahamians with me to every single wrestling match that we go to all throughout the entire world. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was a very, very special feeling to be there and to experience that. And it's interesting because, obviously people came, they were rowdy, they were chanting things that apparently we can't repeat.
I mean, you could do some research. I'll never break it down.
You can say the acronym. You can't say the full thing, but
so,
you can say the acronym.
Say the acronym. I want to make sure we get the letters right.
CYC.
CYC sounds very innocent to us, but yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Okay, so the explanation behind it is, you ever been in an argument with someone and you just like go somewhere, like take yourself somewhere. In the Bahamas, we say carrier, and we add a nice little beautiful word at the end of that one. So that's how we got carry ya with the C word.
I need to write all this down, because I'm
really.
I'm taking notes right now. Taking notes. I'm here for the lingo. I'm here for it.
You will hear this chant loud and proud once this event airs. That's for sure. I want to ask you one more thing, Kaylia, because I think this is so interesting. Looking back, and now, I'm seeing all of the news reports, because a lot of the major newspapers and outlets were reporting on this incredible show, and the lead story in that was you. They were all interviewing you. They were all talking to you. What did that feel like, particularly after, many look at, going to the WWE as the pinnacle? And so, not quite getting the opportunities that you wanted there, but having your home country literally treat you like a rock star. What did that feel like?
It felt like everything I would have wanted in WWE the first time I was there, realistically. But the difference is, my people, they are just so open to things that are new that they could absolutely 100% get behind. So for me, in that moment, it was just so unreal that they took me serious. I feel like at WWE, they didn't take me serious. And I mean, if I think about it, it wasn't a reason to. I didn't have a name. I didn't have a character. I did not know my identity in that ring. So how could you treat someone like a rock star who doesn't look like it, walk like it, talk like it? It was the beginning of my progression as a professional wrestler. And when I came home, it's like everything that I've learned up to that point melted into one person. And suddenly I saw clearly who Kaylia Capri is. And I was able to depict that to them by adding little things that I know they would love from Bahamian culture as well. Like my hair, my outfit, like the things I say out of my mouth. I know what my country men want to hear. And I know what the whole Caribbean wants to hear. Because I know we've been craving representation, true homegrown representation. That someone can be like genuinely, really, honestly in love with and absolutely invested into. So the difference in those feelings, I can't say I felt bad not getting it at WWE, but I'm so happy that it all boiled down to this point where I'm now fresh in the game still, and I'm receiving this admiration. And now when I go back to the States, I have such high hopes, because when people look at me now, I'm not just a pro wrestler. I'm the first ever female Bahamian pro wrestler in the entire world. So that holds so much weight when I get inside competition with these other women, and I'm able to step into doors with them, and they actually take me extremely serious, and they know that I'm representing for something huge. And that feels great to stand behind.
Absolutely. Before we get out of here, I want to ask you this. You talked about representation, which I think is so important, specifically in the Caribbean. How much did this experience mean to you under the banner of All Caribbean Wrestling, who has come to literally serve an underserved community as the Caribbean when it comes to pro wrestling?
I'm so appreciative for ACW, because I believe that was my first ever chance to put not only my country, but the Caribbean on the map. And JB was just so open and honest with me. He let me know what he was expecting from me, and he kept me at a certain level, a certain standard, that when we did get over to the Caribbean, I was already a pro at this thing. You know what I mean? I was already understanding what everybody was going to want to see, what everybody was going to want to hear. And I was able to use that to my advantage to create what I would want them to see, what I would want them to hear. And ACW is just that company that I'm happy that it started small, because we able to create this framework of family and close knit and just tightness between every single person in the family. And it's just like that family dynamic is perfect when you go into the Caribbean, because I think that's so important in the Caribbean. Everyone is so family oriented, so close knit. Everyone knows everybody here. They know you by your first name, last name, nickname, surname. They know your mommy name, the maiden name, this and that. Like, everybody knows everything about you. So to be in a company where it's so close knit and small right now, but has the potential to actually compete with AEW, compete with WWE, all you simply need is the people who want to work. And it feels amazing to be a part of this process, especially as the first ever Bahamian female. It's just amazing, because I'm like in my own category at this point. I'm like in my own category, and that's what I like. I like to separate myself. You know, the sun, it always has its shade, and it's always separated. You just can't help it. It's just natural. Some things just come to you, and some things just pass you by naturally. And I'm just happy that ACW was one of those things that came straight to me.
Love it. There it is. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I want to thank you for the memories that were created. I got to hang out with you quite a bit, learn a lot. All I'm going to say, and this is definitely a personal joke, that Bonner is now in it as well. Hashtag wet nipples.
Oh, you said that? Oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Wow.
TK, that was a good one. Yeah, we locked in.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm curious. We're gonna have to make the next trip, fellas.
Oh.
Hashtag wet nipples. I love that.
I feel left out now. I immediately feel left out.
Wow.
It looks like we found the name of today's show.
Right?
See what that algorithm does then on YouTube.
Right?
Okay.
Make it one word. Make it just one word.
It is one word. It's one word now.
There you go.
Thank you so much, and we'll definitely see. Like I said, y'all definitely have to check out the pay-per-view when it drops. But we'll definitely see you. Well, I'll definitely see you in Los Angeles. Congratulations on all that. And y'all don't know what we're talking about. You'll find out, because you're gonna see Miss Capri everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's gonna be great.
Can't wait.
Awesome.
Can't wait. So excited.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you. I'm so excited too. Thank y'all so much for having me. It was so great to just let the Capri Sun touch y'all's skin for a little bit. I know it was nice and warm.
I like that. I like that.
And I can't wait to bring it back again.
Absolutely. We will see you soon, Kaylia. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Take care. All right. And so we go from one
Speaking
guest.
of wet nipples.
Whoa.
You know what?
What?
I had a much different transition plan.
I
for
know
that.
you did. That's why I had to stop you. You sometimes
I probably would have
Okay.
preferred the professor. I probably would have preferred the professor's more professional setting, but I won't remain there too long. You know what we got to talk about. Y'all didn't let
the
me in the
hell?
stream this morning, God damn it.
What
But
the
I'm
hell is
here.
going on with you?
Oh yeah, we talking about your criminal of a client. That's what we
Sir?
talking about.
Sir,
Oh God.
I'm prepared to see
boy.
you in court.
Listen,
boy.
Yeah, you wait till we
Professor,
arrive.
boss lady, I try to hold it down as much as I can, but there's no stopping this debate. Forget the presidential debate.
boy.
This is the real debate.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I know it's gonna be. What is that over your eye, sir?
I'm like, yeah, like what's
He got
what's
a
the
whole Dragon Ball Z. You got a power scouter, yeah. You ought to
He
see
gets
the
it.
power.
He gets
Read the power in this file I got for your client when we get to
Okay.
court. See what level it's sitting on. It's over 9,000. I'm letting you know that now.
Boy.
It ain't enough. It ain't enough pop rocks in America to stop what's gonna happen on Sunday.
It ain't enough palm trees in the world or heat that's gonna come down on that city for your
boy.
client
What's
to
great
walk out
is
as a
normally
champion.
when I put things on wax, they come true.
Oh boy.
I said we was gonna knock out Shayna. I said we was gonna twerk with Sexy Red. And Sunday, we becoming NXT Women's Champion.
Wow.
And it will
Wow.
be a
Well,
summer-long
no,
celebration.
I'm
don't
here
know.
for it. I'm here
I don't
for it.
know.
Well, we were well, I guess I don't even know where to start now.
we can. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more on ACW and then go into
Yeah,
that.
we were gonna talk about that, but Sed came
We
in
had
hot.
a whole
and I'm
NXT
like,
post show that said could have come on, but here we are.
Well,
I mean, people
Wow.
don't send me the
Well-
link for obvious reasons, you know.
People don't.
wow.
You have my number.
I don't
You
get
have all my
I don't get
numbers.
syncs. I don't get sent links. I can't appear, you know. On top of that, I don't believe the show happened on time. I showed up and nobody was available. So
Well, no, the show did happen much later than planned, but there's a story behind
Yeah,
it.
because if
But
you're a
this
regular
was the
participant, then I
rare
would have let you
occasion where
know.
the EST was awake on West Coast time.
Well, we were all awake this weekend for Baha Bash in Nassau, Bahamas. And I don't know if we officially had a chance to tell you guys. So we'll use this platform to tell you that on commentary for Baha Bash was yours truly and the debuting TK Trinidad.
Wow.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yes. So we brought this tag team over to Baha Bash, All Caribbean Wrestling. TK was a very busy woman over there. But we were able to do commentary, and there's a piece of that I'm going to tell you guys about in a second. But before I do, TK, I would like to get your thoughts on your experience and your maiden voyage as in commentary.
Yeah, my cherry was definitely broken. So thanks, Professor.
What
For that.
are we doing?
It was my first time.
TK, you got one more, and I'm taking this PG cap off my.
I was gonna
commentary.
say it's
I'm just letting you know. I said I was gonna get safe. You got one more, and I'm bringing out the BBC, and I'm not going.
Oh no!
BBC's Big Back Championship. Big Back
what
Championship.
y'all talking about?
What y'all talking about?
What y'all talking about?
Y'all haven't been keeping up.
Whoa!
Here we go.
Whoa! Wait a minute.
Here we go.
Well, first off, I definitely want to shout out. I definitely want to shout out ACW for so many things. For believing in us. They are a sponsor. Our official sponsor for our very. As far as sponsorship for the whole company, they are the first one. So shout out to them for that. And then also shout out to them for, giving me opportunities to wear a lot of hats, which I didn't expect to happen in 2024. I definitely didn't expect in starting the partnership with them that I would be on the commentary table, not only with the professor, but with Mark Henry eating KFC. That's a whole nother story that I would probably have to say for another day. And then also, yeah.
But on top of that, I'm going to interject and then throw back to her. But Mark Henry, that picture looks like a photo op, right?
Mm-hmm.
but that is what commentary looked like the whole night. Mark Henry, I don't know why he chose to do this, but chose to sit in between the two of us for our entire time at commentary for this entire show.
That's
so
amazing.
No pressure,
No
but
pressure
yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
But y'all killed it though, right? Like it ain't no like.
Of course they did.
Yeah, it's like
that's
why he was there.
It was
Well,
only
here's-
right that it was only right to have a Hall of Famer there.
I know, and the world's
motivate
strongest
you,
man.
like that. Hello, like that's big.
it was definitely just like how I say this time and time again to put respect on wrestlers' name, as far as even though it's scripted, they're still putting their bodies on the line. It's the same thing with the commentary team. To be that active, and I want to, for the first time, so you might want to document this, Professor. To be able to be still watch the match, commentate, and bring in all the elements in it, that's not an easy job. And so for the folks who do it, and then for people to complain about what they're doing, you go and try that, because it's not because you're always, there were moments, and I'll give behind this. There were moments where I was like, I had to catch myself because the matches were so good, and I'm like, oh shoot, I'm actually on, I need to talk. And Professor carried it. I am so happy that my very first time, this sounds terrible, but it's true. My very first time was with the Professor.
That's the social clip right there.
Now wait. Here's the crazy part. She just said, I know this sounds bad. So are you saying, never mind?
Oh,
hey, look, you ain't no better.
Over your head. It's okay.
Can I ask you a question, Professor?
It's okay.
Yes, Ted.
Oh no! Oh boy!
Can you take me behind the curtain real quick? Because I believe the chat wants to know as well as I. But how many $60 drinks did TK have?
There it is. There we are.
Limited. You can go to my page, and I don't really put my page out there like that. But if you know where to find me, you can find me. But you can go to my page at TK Trinidad. I didn't put out too many pictures, but let's just say TK was well fed, and there was a lot of libations, and it was a good trip.
And we're glad you're back safe.
DM me, I'll give you the burner, guys.
But we actually had a fantastic time. It was a really great experience. Shout out to All Caribbean Wrestling, a very, very special promotion. And I will say this: I think, when you as a fan go to wrestling, you really look for an experience. When you are behind the scenes and it is work, oftentimes it ends up being work, and sometimes you have fun and sometimes you don't. But All Caribbean really created an experience such that those of us who were a part, I mean, there were so many moments for me where I just, I was just like, oh my God, like, this is what we're doing. Like, yeah, like literally, what is my life right now? Yes.
We were in I won't tell about the whole conversation, but we happened upon ourselves in a car, me, Professor, Mark Henry, and Bohemian wrestler. His name is The Rockstar, so you can look him up. We were in this car driving in the Bahamas. It was insane. It was insane.
Just casually riding in the Bahamas.
Just casually driving through the Bahamas at 8:30 at night.
I love that. I love that.
And,
yeah.
And I got to know a lot of things about the Professor. We got to hang out. We had a moment to be at the beach.
We did.
He had more moments than I did because I was working. Thanks, JB. But it was a really great time. And again, for the folks who are starting out, and then also the people who help shows like WWE run.
Right.
Putting the ring together and the lights and all that stuff. Like, that's not to do that every week, 2-3 times a week is not an easy thing. And for people to bash it, it's okay for you to, say, well, I didn't like this, but to really take it so seriously where you're talking ish about a product, then I challenge you to go and do it on that extent. And that's what All Caribbean did. That we had the lights, we had the table, we had the chairs, they built the ring, and then they broke down the ring that night.
Right. That's
Like
how you do
it's a lot. It was like my first time being on witnessing that side of it. And it was a lot of work. And I definitely want to shout out the folks at All Caribbean for accepting me into it, because I'm, in that way, or the looks of it, I'm definitely more of a newbie as far as that side of it. And they definitely, accepted me with open arms. I have two new uncles. Shout out to Uncle Mike, one of the from the tourism board, and then shout out to Papa Pope. I don't know how you became my papa, but we had interesting conversations, got to know a lot of different wrestlers, which we're going to be featuring on this platform. But it was a great experience. So if you guys are not following All Caribbean Wrestling, there are big things coming down the pipe that you heard it here first, that you do not want to miss.
Let them cook. Let them cook.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and I won't dominate the rest of the show with all of that, but it was such an experience. It really, really was. And so really, if you get a chance to go to an All Caribbean show anywhere in the world, you should really, really go, because it was special. And this situation in the Bahamas, when I say it was sold out, it was sold out. And then there were more people that just kept showing up, and they kept having to find room to put chairs. And it was literally standing room only. People were standing against the walls.
Wow.
And they finally said, you cannot get any more people in here. People were almost sitting on the commentary table. That's how close people were. I mean, it was like that. And that's such a great problem to have. Yes.
And I don't know if I can say this part of it. However, Red Velvet was there, and she had a crazy match. I don't know if I could say who she had her match with, but
yeah, we probably won't say that, but let's just say this. The talent that was there. I mean, I'll just say the show started with Lindsay Dorado against JTG.
Wow, that's
Lord have mercy.
Wow.
That's how it started. Yeah,
Right.
that's how it started. It was incredible. 4 title matches. I mean, it really is amazing. And we also had, including Mark Henry, 4 Olympians present. 2 of them were gold medalists. One was a runner for Haiti. Another won the 400 meter for the Bahamas. And she was the track trainer for Kaylia Capri, who was just on our show. It was wild. The Prime Minister of the Bahamas came to the show, guys.
Wow. Yeah.
So this was everywhere. We had coverage from everywhere. It was really something special. And so to be a part of it, to have an opportunity to participate is incredible. And so I am so excited. There are some really cool things coming. So we will keep you posted on when the show will be available. I'll throw this out. Here's an exclusive for you. Here it is. The exclusive is there's going to be a pre-show that will air that features yours truly and TK. You're going to love it.
Go team. Let's
You're
go.
gonna love it. So we will keep you posted on all of that.
Parents were at work.
Yeah, this wasn't a vacation. It was. I think I definitely was working more than the professor. I mean, because professor he was on the beach. He was, he got the shots.
She went there.
Wait, what did you just say?
I was working more than the professor. You had more moments. You were part of a whole Jenga tournament. Like, you had moments. You had more.
You were right next to me when I was playing Jenga. What are you talking about?
That night, but the night after. I'm just saying.
How does the bottom of that bus stay?
The night after you were at the. Do you want me to say that?
The FTR match. Accusations. These are not accusations. This is false accusation. And
I think the funniest part was when Professor and I were on the beach together, and Professor's like, I was like, let's go in the water. And he's like, well, I can only go this because I don't want to get my hair wet.
Oh, is this what we're doing?
That
This is what we're
had me-
doing.
Oh,
I fell out.
shit.
I fell out.
This is what we're
I
doing.
fell out. I mean, I
Oh,
got the
man.
concept, but it was. So
This
I
is-
thank
this
you,
is what we're
Professor. I
doing.
just we had moments. I
What do we
appreciate it.
do? What do we do?
Listen, I for the record, no, I did no shots, not one. TK is up here, I did not do. I wouldn't even know what to
did
have.
shots.
You did too. You just
I
said
know,
Professor
I
was
said-
doing shots.
Oh, I mean picture shots, not drinking shots. Yeah, picture shots. Like he was taking pictures on the beach and stuff like that. Remember, you had the
It's
whole
been-
aerial video.
I didn't do that.
It's been a long weekend.
It's been a long weekend.
Lord,
they still
show
at the
was
Caribbean.
long.
Yeah, they're
That's
still
what
they're
is.
still filming that.
Still
Yeah.
I was just gonna say.
There's backgrounds of
can't.
screenshots.
That's
Thank you,
it.
cousin. Not downing a black man for not wanting to get his hair wet. Do you know how long it takes to dry? Thank you, cousin. Thank you very
It
much.
wasn't that. I completely understood. It was just the sentence that how the sentence presented itself that had me cracking up. I was like, wait, what?
That's great.
Needless to say, we had a fantastic time. Now, for the record, just to have this out here, we originally weren't supposed to be where we are right now. We were really originally supposed to be in Miami waiting for our next flight, which was scheduled to be tomorrow to Jamaica. However, there is a hurricane that is on the way to Jamaica, Hurricane Beryl. And so we are obviously, our thoughts and prayers are with everybody there. We're hoping that there is minimal damage. And so just kind of really being cautious and wise. That show is postponed. We'll have a new date for that. And when that happens, we will let you guys know. But some great things are on the horizon for All Caribbean Wrestling. And again, make sure you are following at All Caribbean Wrestling across all the social spaces and stay connected to all of the cool things that are happening there. All right, I suppose we should get into some of the other news that's actually going on in the wrestling world. But before we do, I think it would be really, really interesting because you guys came on so hot. Councilman and said, what is all of this talk? And well, wait, before we do this, said, since you weren't able to be a part of the NXT post show, let's ask the question, how did you feel about Lola Vice and her promo work last night, the story that she told, and what this is going to do leading into Heat Wave this Sunday? What's happening in these other boxes is very interesting to me right now.
Yeah, it is.
Did I just get center face? Because that was intentional. I love that.
Oh, like you being biased right now, Professor. You being
I love that I just got center face.
You're in
That
the
was
center.
beautiful. That was
Like I
intentional.
said,
Whoever's
I'm an
running the
innocent
boards today,
bystander.
more power to you. But let me talk about shit real quick, because there was a lot of people on Twitter talking about it was a bad promo segment. And let me be honest, like they recovered. If we can have any sense of empathy here. Clearly, Roxanne stumbled over some lines, maybe forgot a couple lines to start the promo off. Loma tried to interject, but that was just raw emotion. That's raw emotion. Everything she said about her mom, her upbringing, her family, it's true. And trust me, I would know.
Of course.
So
you would know.
that raw emotion, those tears, that crying, that's telling me that she's prepared for the biggest match of her match of her life. And this was supposed to be what happened at Vengeance Day, that she got interjected with the breakout tournament contract. But this is a straight up one-on-one. Everything's been organic from her build. We were just months ago questioning what they were doing with the character, how she was going to showcase more personality, more character on the mic and in the ring. And she's become a killer. And the truth be told is what she said last night was very interesting about being the best crossover from MMA to WWE. It's a very interesting time to make that claim, because Ronda fell out of favor with the WWE with her book and a lot of comments that she's made. And meanwhile, we are just washing the slate clean of Brock Lesnar. So she can actually interject into that space really quickly and fast if they do it the right way. That fanfare you saw last night was 100% real. Fans are behind her. So a few weeks ago, we were wondering what Lola was. Is she a heel? Is she a tweener? We've been kind of going both sides of the fence, but she's absolutely the babyface going into this match. And I believe you're going to see a changing of the guard come Sunday. However we do it, we'll find out. But that whole, you're going to be wondering what world you're in once I knock you out, that was a bar. I don't care about the crying and the tears and all like that. That was a bar. Higginbottom, he going to do the right thing. And it's no shade to Roxanne because there's a number of avenues she can go if she loses the title. She can jump up to Raw or SmackDown, or she can jump over to TNA and try to take that title from Jordynne Grace too. This is not a miss if she loses the title. Let's be clear. This is just positioning a new face for the brand just months before we get to the CW in October.
I like it. I like it. Councilman, was there something you wanted to say?
Now, I love how the mayor put her in such a shining light, and just what she was saying about doing this for her mother and how she's going to be, you know, the first female Cuban American champion. But let me tell you what I saw, because them little crocodile tears she threw out last night don't fool your boy. It don't fool me. Let's talk about the 2 weeks of assaults she has been doing on our current champion, okay? This woman wanted to come out here to try to be a babyface. You are a bully and a thief. She stole the champion's title, took pictures with it, made TikToks. You go to jail for that. And she think because she twerking these cheeks that we just go look past that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Don't you bring your mama into this. Don't you bring your mama into this. You go give some respect to Roxanne. And with that being said, Lola Vice is definitely gonna win Sunday. Yeah. Cedric's right though. Like Roxanne has nothing left to do there. She's now the Becky Lynch of NXT. You've done it all. Lola Vice is under a new class of women wrestlers, a new class of NXT, and moving into CW. It makes sense for her to take that and lead into the next chapter and let Roxy move into the bigger picture. But that's not because she's great. That is an ode to Roxanne has done it all. And out of everybody else in that division, that is at right now, if I had to give the grade, because I had a file in here, all of them right now are at a B average. They getting it. But they're at a B average. And right now, Lola is at a B plus compared to our A plus champion. Because nobody's saying NXT Vice. It's Tuesday Night Rocks. Okay? That's what's said on the book.
Can I retort?
He even said that. But yeah, so y'all can have y'all new NXT 4.0, whatever y'all on right now. I don't know which NXT iPhone we on right now, but I'm just glad Roxanne is going to be moving on to better competition other than Vice City.
You see what now. Y'all see what I've been dealing with.
Hold on. Not because she's not great. She's the hot. Hey, thank you. That's exactly where I was going. Do you see people buying Prodigy t-shirts?
The setup is
they're not selling off the rack. And our current champion, 2BGI bro, he ain't got no merch moving like that either.
Allegedly.
We know who moving the merch. We know who the biggest star in the brand is. That's why they got to make these moves.
Listen,
keep in mind, this title match is a one-on-one. The reason Trick has to have a fatal four-way is because he needs more personalities in that match to carry the match. Let's be clear.
Dang.
I'm appalled.
You need more people in that ring to carry that match with him after what I saw at Battleground.
You're going to do that to Trick Williams right when the real TK come back? That's wild. That's wild. I'm
sure she saw a lot of nice Jamaican brothers on the beach. You know, I'm pretty sure.
Oh man. Man.
But those are the facts. When you need to push the brand forward, and like you said, Roxanne is a glass ceiling for everybody. A lot of us thought Jordynne Grace would have left with the title. That was stunning. It was silent in the arena. Nobody thought that was going to happen. So you have to build somebody that can take the belt off of her, and you take the person that just beat the longest tenured NXT Women's Champion. I mean, we don't call her that anymore. We call her something else.
You don't.
At both of you, I am actually appalled because not for nothing, you both actually forgot that there's one person waiting in the wings on the side. We're waiting for her too. You're forgetting about this twisted generation that is expecting their queen to return as well. So,
but y'all said she's not coming back for a while though.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I'm betting it off of Cora Jade is not coming back. Like y'all said, like her whole
She's
stuff
coming back. Oh, she's coming back. I know that for a fact. She has to come back.
Well, if she coming back, if she coming back,
and she gonna put both of your girls to shame. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's the only way I can stay out of the middle of this. I'm gonna have to like set
Cora
the record
Jade can carry
straight.
the division when Trick Williams is the champion. We want the same situation on both belts.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Well,
you gonna do that the day before Independence Day? That's how you gonna go?
I came here for honesty. I came here for honesty. My clients have been moving units in these streets. Jada Parker took out Meechin. We come on. We put some respect on my clients.
Disrespectfully too. Now that's what we both agree.
Took 3 hypnotics to do it though.
Well,
is that what it's called?
Through a state.
It's called
That's
the
they called
hypnotic.
it like
That's what it's
hypnotic.
called.
Yes.
That's called the hypnotic.
That's
I think that's a pretty brilliant name.
Talk to your constituents. If you're not feeling it, talk to the constituents.
No, I love it. I love it. I like that she did the Roman Reigns hit the ropes too. That was a nice touch.
Well, we go from one of Ced's favorites to another, and that is a recent interview that took place involving Mercedes Moné on Hot 97, where she talked about the fact that the WWE did not want her to transition into acting. She says, quote, "I love WWE, but they tried so hard to not make me do The Mandalorian and put me on house shows when I was supposed to film. It was pulling teeth just to get on that show, just to be a part of that show. So with these new doors of opportunity at AEW, I have all the time in the world to go do acting and more." This might be my favorite line for you. "Tony will pick me up on the private jet to take me to the shows and back to the other show to film." What are your thoughts on this whole space of Mercedes Moné and feeling like, hey, you know what? WWE gave me a hard time doing The Mandalorian, so I'm glad I'm in AEW because I can do that and more.
This is on Hot 97, right?
This is on Hot 97.
She's such a good worker that really knows the history of the business. I don't know how much of that was actually Mercedes and her being in character, if I'm being honest. If she's just playing up her character a little more.
That's what you're gonna go with?
Well, just because a lot of people took the interview as
I smell excuses.
I mean, there's a lot of people that critique that era of the WWE. I felt like she was more so just leaning into like being a boss, being a CEO. I don't know how much time the fake TK can take to really like smooth his superstars because he has a bunch of them that he has signed. So why would one get preferred treatment?
Which
one? Not talking about that part. Not talking about that part.
We're
talking about
the
beginning part.
Private jet. He can send that. He doesn't need to be on the jet. He
Yeah,
send the jet.
we that one we understand. It's that first line she threw out there. We talked about this on the last show of if you are for the business or if you're for yourself. Now, how she put this, I get where she's coming from, but let's think about at the time this is going on. This is around 2020. This is pandemic. This is when we don't have an audience. And let's face it, to your point, Mayor, this is when she was on fire. She was giving us matches after matches. She was one of the reasons that the ratings were so high. As a matter of fact, I believe during 2020, Sports Illustrated named her the top wrestler of 2020. So why would WWE want you to go off for 4 to 5 months, maybe even longer, to go shoot a show when you're the hottest ticket right now?
Becky was like, "I'll stay."
It was like, Becky, we glad you're here. We'll just say that.
I was wondering about that same timeline because 2020 wasn't nobody making movies. So, but bigger than that, there weren't house shows after midway in March.
Yeah.
So unless she got the Mandalorian in the first 2 months, and they were trying to stop her then, there might be a hole or two in this story
Maybe she
because
just got the dates slightly off by a couple of years.
Because if everything
by a
was being
couple of
shot
years.
in Orlando, I mean, you can realistically you can do both. Because everything's being shot at the PC if it's 2020. Nothing was live, everything's pre-taped.
Yeah, it was all pre-taped. It wasn't being. They didn't have the kind of schedule that they, would have now or anything like that. So
correct me if I'm wrong though. On some of those that was, I believe SmackDown, they did have to be live because of the contract that they had worked out with Fox. They only had a certain number of pre-recorded shows they could do, and they used the majority of that up. So a lot of that had to be live so they could keep their contract with Fox.
Perhaps during the days of Thunderdome. Maybe
that's what I'm trying to figure out between those. I don't know exactly the time, but I know that was also a thing during that pandemic time.
So you're said that it's possibly a work of what she was saying to Hot 97.
Okay, now wait. Just a little research. So filming for The Mandalorian season 2 was from October 2019 to March 2020. So if that's the time frame, it is possible that perhaps, they asked her to be on house shows and things since WWE was still very much cooking in terms of doing house shows and things like that. Yeah. So maybe. Don't know.
Mercedes.
Interesting.
Well, and here's the question
film
too.
The Peacemaster. Everything's all hunky dory, right?
Oh my goodness. Here's the question too. With making a statement like that, is she closing? Because I think we've all said it. Well, not we've. I've said that this deal with AEW is definitely kind of like what you were saying, Councilman, a deal for herself. Meaning that she got the money, what she wants. She's able to get what she wants. They were going to give her everything. And I think that was the biggest difference between AEW and WWE. I think WWE is willing to give her the money. However, they weren't willing to give all the other minutiae that she wants. But with the statement in this interview, do you think she's sealing her fate of never returning to the WWE?
No, because CM Punk got to come back. So, and he bashed them for 9 years straight.
Yeah, I think if the situation is right, I don't think any of these kinds of words from her right now are going to keep her from WWE. I don't think that's the case.
I think she has way more advocates backstage than not.
Yeah.
So I don't see that.
Yeah. And I think she would jump at the opportunity to come back, and WWE would jump at the opportunity to have her back. So I think, and if she continues to actually keep wrestling between now and then, she'll have even more notoriety and more things under her belt, and so she'll be able to come back. Now, what the WWE will look like when she gets there is another story.
Yeah.
Very true.
Because in 3 years, oh God, do you know what that main roster is going to look like in 3 years?
It's going to be ridiculous.
The Lolas, the Roxannes, the Lash Legends, the Jada Parkers, the Carmen Petrovic,
the Sol Rukas, the Kaylani Jordans,
the Fallon Henleys,
because Izzy was killing it last night.
Izzy was killing it, yeah. All of them. And Ariana Graces, all of those.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be fun. Wow. All right. So a couple more stories. This has just been actually like a fun family reunion. So it's been all good. But we are moving now to a space where we have a new number one contender for the Speed Championship. As earlier today, Xavier Woods defeated Nathan Fraser in the semifinals. And now he will be the next contender to Andrade. What did I miss?
I have no idea.
Because the last couple of weeks we've been talking about the Speed Championship. The councilman doesn't. It's Councilman's reaction for me. That's
Oh Lord.
It's-
Councilman,
it's-
are you not getting into? Have you not watched any of these matches here for Speed? No, that's no. Okay. All right.
Shout out to Xavier Woods. Well, shout out to Xavier Woods. He is, for you guys who don't know the story, who are new to WWT, he is the reason why WWT exists, and I'm in this space. So shout out to him. I hope he gets everything that he deserves.
Maybe they'll let him wear the belt on Raw when he wins.
Oh my God.
Speed is a good thing. Speed is good for a lot of these superstars. It reminds me of what they were doing with Mixed Match Challenge, and I just wish they would bring that back. But this is interesting how they're going to move. I was actually just listening to some old New Day pod episode yesterday, and I'm starting to think there's a possibility they actually could break up the New Day. If you go back and listen to the Greased Up episode where Woods is talking about how he was told he was going to be doing the Royal Rumble, and then he was like, went on TV for weeks saying he was the first entry announced, and then he got pulled, and he was supposed to be next year in the Royal Rumble, and he didn't get travel for it, and how he's just been pretty much just supporting Kofi. If you really go back and look at it, they have a storyline there. So this could be a turn if he doesn't get it. I don't think he will, because they just put it on Andrade, and I think they have plans for Andrade as a single star. But it's good that they're giving him more singles opportunity, but there's more to that storyline that they're doing with the Final Testament.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Karrion Kross trying to get in his ear and everything. If you notice, also on Raw, Xavier Woods got the pin on Karrion Kross. Kofi didn't. That's something to be said for the future of the New Day, possibly. So I'm really scared to see what happens, because I never thought they were. I mean, if there is a New Day breakup, I never thought there would be ever.
Could y'all? I'd ask. Could y'all see Kofi potentially turning heel?
Did you say
Kofi? I know he probably wants to. Wants to, but no.
I think Xavier would be the heel. Wait, you said he did say not Kofi.
Yeah, no, I'm just asking. Just like, because one of them are gonna have to, because like at this point, and I hate to say it like this, Xavier Woods kind of is being held back, having Kofi attached to him. If you really think about it, like this is now hurting you more than it's helping you.
I can't.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
If the New Day breaks up, I'm gonna need a immediate sabbatical.
That's gonna hurt you like that.
Immediate sabbatical. I don't know when it'll end, but yeah.
Hey, that's gonna hurt your heart like that, man.
Yes.
Wow.
That will immediately pull me from Vice City and Parkerville, all the likes. I'll need some time.
Dang.
Okay.
Oh,
okay. Well,
Fed's about to pound the streets.
How is that a correlation?
Every time I think, God, every time I think it's safe to come out and play.
Oh man. And we thought we were gonna be on our best behavior for the parents when they're back and everything like that. And it's just
no
out the window.
TK. No. Yeah. So
wow. What do you mean by that?
Say what?
Oh my God.
What do you mean by that?
Dissension in the household. Dissension in the household.
We literally were in the Bahamas hangout working together.
We were.
We had moments. The strongest man alive.
Wait, what happened to Councilman? He disappeared. Y'all made him disappear.
Councilman did disappear.
He's gone.
Why.
That's it.
Oh boy. So Trying to get this train back on the tracks here. WWE has filed a trademark for an old WCW pay-per-view. And that pay-per-view is Super Brawl. WCW Super Brawl first began in 1991. It ran for about 10 years. The inaugural Super Brawl had Ric Flair versus Tatsumi Fujinami for the WCW World Championship. The last one was for a retirement match for the WCW Championship between Scott Steiner and Kevin Nash. Now, they filed for this trademark yesterday, which I think is very, very interesting. Do you see Super Brawl coming back as a PLE, or do you see it as a perhaps TV special, or maybe even a house show like they did several years ago with Starrcade?
Is she
What'd you say there, boss lady?
I said, do we need another PLE?
Do we need another PLE? Not necessarily.
But it would probably be an NXT PLE, if anything, right?
I was gonna say it would have to be NXT.
I don't think it would be added to main roster. I think it would. Isn't NXT using some of the old WCW intellectual properties?
They're using Halloween Havoc, Great American Bash. Yeah.
Could be a good thing for them to do callbacks in that fashion.
Yeah, not so much a TV special. I mean, I think it would definitely be a PLE for sure.
Heck, wasn't Heatwave supposed to be a TV special at first?
It was before. It was last year, I thought. And so it got switched up to being a PLE, which I think is cool. Okay. Very, very cool.
Everything else, War Games, throw it in there with that.
Yeah.
Especially since we don't have TakeOver as a yearly show anymore. You can just keep adding more to define this era of NXT.
So I think that'll be interesting for sure. And speaking of NXT, last but certainly not least, we've got another major debut coming on NXT. This is going to happen on NXT's Level Up. And that is where former Olympian Tamyra Mensah Stock will find herself with her official TV debut, as she will be debuting on the next episode of Level Up, which I think is going to be really exciting to see. She will debut under the name Tyra May Steele. And so this should be pretty cool. Her first wrestling match as a live event was back on March the 30th in NXT. And her last live match was back in May, where she defeated Kendall Gray. She was an Olympic champion at the women's freestyle 68 kilograms at the Summer Games in Tokyo back in 2021, becoming the first African-American woman to win gold in freestyle wrestling. What are your thoughts on the debut of another Olympic medalist, an Olympic gold medalist, dare I say, first woman in WWE, Tamyra Mensah Stocks? Or should we call her by her new name, Tyra May Steele?
I'm excited because when I first saw her, I believe it was SummerSlam in Vegas, when they brought both of them out, she gave me very much introvert vibes. So I'm really eager to see her character and how she's grown throughout the years. It's really going to be presented well.
Okay. We kind of caught some of that, and some of that broke up a bit, but
I thought it was just me. Okay.
No,
yeah, I thought it was me. I thought it was just me.
Wasn't just, but I think I got some of the gist of what she was saying, which I agree with, and that is the idea that when both her and the other Olympic medalists that they were highly touting, they brought them out, and I thought it was WrestleMania 39, but it might have been that SummerSlam, one of the two, where they brought both of them out. No, I think it was that SummerSlam. You're right, in Vegas. It seemed as though she was not the one that would be entering WWE. Like, it felt like she was just there because she was an Olympic medalist and in wrestling. But it felt like Gable Steveson was the one that was getting the push and we'd be seeing in the ring. It seems to certainly have turned out opposite. And so I'm curious what you guys think we'll see coming up very shortly for her debut on Level Up. Said, what do you think?
For one, I think the women athletes in development that come out of NIL have traditionally fared better than the men as far as performers as well as characters. They've traditionally done better with that pipeline. So I think they'll do right. Where I'm interested what the character style will be, if they will lean into kind of that Olympic pedigree or if they just won't reference it and let her kind of figure it out on her own.
Any other thoughts on her debut? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was gonna say I'm really interested to see what she brings to the table, especially in NXT, even with the crossover with going on with TNA, and see what other kinds of things that they do. So she got an Olympic gold medal. I think that's also really telling of the talent and skill that that could also come with bringing her into NXT. I feel like it's gonna be a lot better than the Gable Steveson issue or the Gable Steveson situation that we had. I think is definitely going to be a bounce back from it. We have a very, very active women's roster now in NXT, so I think it's definitely going to be really, really cool to see what she brings to that roster.
It will be extremely cool. And I just want to remind everybody, because I'm sure some people will be going to go see it, but that long-awaited WrestleMania documentary, Behind the Curtain, just went live on YouTube about 10 minutes ago. So we'll obviously get a chance to watch it. And on a future episode of WWT Live, we will spend some time analyzing it, talking about it, and the like. So that should be a lot of fun. Of course, Dynamite's going down
tonight. Just
I
have a theory about the timing of why it's dropped right now.
Oh, yeah. I was curious about that. I was curious about that too.
Okay. What's the theory? I want to know.
Yeah, I want to know too.
Is that we're trying to make fans remember how engulfed we were with Finish the Story to take our mind off of what's happening now.
I see that.
Is something bigger at play?
I don't even know if something bigger, but it's to make sure Cody's the biggest babyface in the company, obviously, but fans are already starting to get a little, hey, you need to turn heel, and all this type of stuff is starting to come up a lot more. He just had the interview with the Pivot this week with Ryan Clark and gang. I just think this is done. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of things in the back end, so they wanted to make this perfect just because it has The Rock's name on it. But I think they're trying to make sure that we know that there's more to this Cody title run, that we have to get through this dogged days of summer to get there.
We will see. I'm very much looking forward to watching this and then seeing what we learn from there. And I'll be curious to see if we even needed it. But that's another story for another day. In the meantime, though, we've got Dynamite happening tonight. The first Dynamite following Forbidden Door. Should be very interesting to see what happens there as we start gearing up, of course, for it seems like All In is the next big pay-per-view for AEW. And of course, we got a big weekend coming up with Money in the Bank in Toronto, because I was told that saying Toronto is wrong. Someone corrected me and told me that
apparently I think Jason's going to the shows. Is that what I caught?
Say it again.
Is Jason going to the shows? Because he said he'd be back Monday to tell about his Toronto experience.
He did mention that he will be there, so that will be fun. So you just never know where the crew from WWT Live will show up. But shout out to him and everybody who will be heading to Toronto for Money in the Bank and Heat Wave and SmackDown.
Toronto.
Well. Yeah, Toronto.
I'm just messing with you.
I
don't hear the difference.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
Apparently, Toronto, emphasis on the T, is a sign that I'm not from Toronto or I've never been there. Well,
and how are you supposed to say it?
Without
Toronto.
emphasis on the T, Toronto. That's what TK says. Now,
I'm about to start calling it Toronto. Get
But
real
she's
southern
supposed
with it.
to-
I'm finna go to Toronto.
yeah,
Go to the
supposed to
weekend.
enunciate your T's though, so I don't understand why that's an issue. Like,
I don't understand. Listen,
Strange.
stranger.
strange.
Yeah. So, how can we find all the good people here on this panel? Councilman, we'll start with you.
You can just find me at
Oh Lord.
See, I was about to be professional today because the professor was back and was gonna really say where to follow me at Will Ferrell and just check out my Twitch and I'm gonna leave it at that. Just for Professor's been through enough. He is jet lagged. He needs some sleep. He don't need my nonsense the first time back. I can't promise this Friday, but today, just follow me at Will Ferrell, PHARAOH, and I'll be going live on my YouTube, X, and Twitch at 6 p.m. PST tonight. Come check it out. There we are.
There it is. Said, how can we find you, sir?
I'll piggyback that because I can't promise I'll be very coy Friday when we do these predictions for Money in the Bank and Heatwave. But first, let me plug a couple people that fell off. If this is the audio version, make sure you go follow TK Trinidad at TK Trinidad. Go follow Jason at that Jason Gray, both on Twitter, Instagram as well. Make sure you check out all their content and stuff like that. You can follow me at Says, that's CEDD_SAYS, and on the gram it said is the answer. It's a beautiful week, everybody. Not because of Independence Day. We celebrate Juneteenth around here, but because on Sunday, we enter a new era. And we'll talk more about that on Friday.
Okay.
Very good. Honey, how can the people find you?
Oh, you guys know to find me here Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays with the WWT crew. So happy to have the family back together. Well, today was fun. Today was definitely a lot of fun. And shout outs to everybody in the chat. Always great to see you guys. Don't forget the Honey Night SmackDown watch along is happening on Friday as well. And we are kicking off the weekend with, SmackDown, Heatwave, Money in the Bank. It's going to be a long weekend, and all other promotions as well. Find me on Wrestling with Honey TikTok, Wrestling with Honey Instagram, Wrestling W Honey on Facebook, and the YouTube Wrestling with Honey podcast.
And of course, you guys can find me at Bonnerfied across all of the social spaces. My commentary work with Southern Honor and IWE are on IWTV. Also with, let's see, Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling and the Nightmare Factory on the Nightmare Factory's YouTube channel. And of course, Ashe Wrestling, which was just crazy. And of course, All Caribbean Wrestling. I can't wait to see all of those things come together. It's going to be really, really exciting. And of course, you can follow us here at WWTalkPod across all of the social spaces. Lots of cool things happening with Women's Wrestling Talk. WWTalkPod.com is the website. Can't wait to see all of the cool things that are happening here with us. Shout out to everybody in the chat, Dylan and Boza and Special Nobodies and Eric and Cousin Ron and Jeffrey and Matt and all of the people. Thank you guys for being so kind and for always rocking with us. We absolutely appreciate it. We are literally representing WWT all around the world, and it is a great place to be. Until next time, this is Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Peace.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WWTalkPod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.